Hello and welcome to Rahman Digital Production. In today's lecture, we are going to take the final aspect of decision making strategies. If it is required to test more than one conditions in a single if statement, then we use the concept of logical operators. Remember, dear student, that it is not only in Python but in any high level programming languages, there are three types of logical operators available. In this regard, Python is not an exception. The logical operators are as follows. One is the AND logical operator, one is the OR logical operator, and one is the NOT logical operator. Let us take all logical operators one by one and explain it with the help of truth tables. So in this regard, we are taking the first one as AND operators. If we want to test two or more than two conditions in single if statement, then AND is playing a vital role. Gentlemen, I told you that is an expression is always returning a single value. So if there are two conditions, one condition is returning one value and the second condition is returning another value, now the whole of this expression will be considered as a single returned value. So AND operator is used to test two or more than two conditions in one if statement. The AND operator will return a true value if all the conditions are true. If the first condition is also true and the second condition is also true and the third condition is also true and so forth, so the whole result will be considered as true. If one of the condition is false, then the whole condition will be false. Remember, for AND logical operator, all the conditions must be true. So let us explain that with the help of a truth table for two conditions only. You can check it for as many conditions, but to keep the things simple, we are taking only the two condition. One is called the X condition and the second is called Y condition. If the X condition is true, and similarly the Y condition is also true, then X and operators with Y will return true. That is what I told you, that if all the conditions are true, then the true value will be returned. So if the first condition is true and the second condition is false, the whole value of the return expression will be considered as false. And if the first condition is false and the second condition is true, then the result will be considered as a false and the next statement immediately after the if will not be executed because the whole condition is false. Similarly, if both the conditions are false, then it means that the whole result obtained from the expression will be considered as false and statement after the if statement will not be executed. Okay, that was the whole story about the AND. Let us now take the OR operators. In case of the OR operators, only one condition needs to be true. If one condition is true and the other is false, it will return a true value. And wherever it is used, immediately next statement will be executed. If both the conditions are false, then it will return a false value, and the next condition after the if statement will not be executed, and the next available line will be executed. So let us explain, or with the help of a truth table. There is a one condition, that is the first condition is true, and the second condition is also true. It will return true value. If the first condition is true and the second condition is false, then it will return true values. That is these logical operators. Now let's talk about a special type of operator which is not means negative, so it is used for negation purpose. What does it mean? It means that if the given condition is true and you are putting not operator with it, automatically it will become false. For example, your father is giving you money to buy a bike, but he is saying that if the price is more than 70,000, then buy it. But if he is saying if the price is not greater than 90,000, then don't buy it. Greater than 90,000 is one condition. Not greater than 90,000 is the negative of that one. So, not operator is used for negation purposes. If the input value is true, then not will return false and vice versa. The truth table for not is given below. It is working on only one condition, not on two conditions. If one condition is true, then the not of that condition will be false. If the first condition is false, the not of that will be considered as true. Now let us take a very interesting program as far as statistics is concerned, and today's program is about the probability. Remember that there are many things for you to learn without the logical operators, so don't go away anywhere. See this interesting program till the end and understand different aspects of programming languages. What we are going to learn inside this, you will learn in a moment. Let us first understand the problem, and then we will write a program for that to solve that problem. What is the problem? The problem is a sack contain balls of four different colors. There are twice as many yellow as green, twice as many red as yellow, and twice as many blue as red. What is the probability of taking from the sack a blue ball, a red ball, a yellow ball, and a green ball? Interesting thing is that we don't know that how many balls are there inside the sack, but still we will be able to calculate the probability. What is probability? Probability means chance. One is possibility, that is 100%, and one is called probability, that is the chance. For example, let me give you an example from cricket. If there are 7 runs required to win the match from one ball, it is improbable but not impossible. It is improbable, chance is very less. There is no chance, but not impossible if by any means there is a white ball or a no ball and there is a 6 on the next ball, so it can, but the bowler will pay full attention to the no ball or white ball in this case. So probability means there is a chance. You are always seeing During the cricket match, they are saying that when predictor is giving the probability of Pakistan is 70% and England is a 30% at this particular juncture of the game. They are changing time to time when the wicket is falling or the runs momentum is increasing, so it is changing, and they are using this probability concept of statistics as well. So that is very important to understand what is the probability. So if we are taking a blue ball, so what will be the probability when I put my hand inside the sack and saying that the ball I am getting will be blue? How much probability is there? Similarly for red ball, similarly for yellow ball and green ball as well. Hope that you understood the problem. Now let's solve this program through Python. First of all, I am importing a module which is called sys, and this module I am importing for changing the color of the text. By default, the color is white with black background, but if we want to print it in different colors, so that option is available in the sys module. So we have to import that first. Understand it. Okay, there are four types of balls. So we are taking four variables. Three of them are initialized with 0, that is number of blue is equal to 0, num red is equal to 0, num yellow is equal to 0, and num green I am taking from the user. If you can assign it with a value 1, it will work equally well. So I am taking the number of balls green. Why I am not taking the number of blue balls? Because according to the question they given us that there is a twice as many yellow as green. So you have to take the green first. Either initialize it with the 1. Let us assume that the number of balls inside the sack is 1, or I am taking it after the execution of the program from the user. Whatever value the user is entering, in both cases, in pre-execution and post-execution, you will get the same result. So num green input, enter the number of green balls in the sack. Okay, it will prompt the user and will stop there until a user enter a value and press enter key. Okay, so far so good. Let's move forward. Here I am saying that now number of yellow is equal to twice the number of green as it is given to us here. There are twice as many yellow as green. So I will say green is equal to twice, and now see that I have written number of yellow is equal to 2 number of green. First of all, you have to take either the value from the user of num green variable or initialize it by yourself. Both are correct, and whatever value you are giving to the num green, it is okay. Now in the next set, number of red ball is equal to 2 multiplied by number of yellow. So it is saying twice as many red as yellow and twice as many blue as red. So according to those conditions, I took these values, number of red twice as number of yellow, number of blue twice as number of red. Hope that you understood this program till here. Now let us understand the total num. For finding the probability, we need the total numbers of balls. So let us consider that I am giving 1 as a value to the green ball. So number of yellow is equal to 2 multiplied by number of green, so it will be 2. Number of red is equal to 2 number of yellow. So number of yellow is 2 and 2 multiplied by 2 is equal to 4. Number of blue is equal to 2. Number of red is 4. So 2 fours are 8. So we are left with the choices of green 1, yellow 2, red 4 and blue is 8. So now we are adding it num blue plus num red plus num yellow plus num green, and it will return you 15 as the value. So print if total number of balls are total num, and it will move to the next line. It will say total number of balls are 15 or whatever result we are obtaining. If you are giving here another value, so it means that it will not be 15. If you are giving initial value to the uh, green balls as 6, then you will get another value, but after all the result at the end will be the same. Okay, we are considering that we given 1 to num of green, so total num is equal to 15 in this case, but it is not the case always if you are giving different value to green, num green. Okay, next is print total number of balls are this, and now we are finding the probability. So probability is a term taken from statistic, which is a social science. Integer number of blue. One thing I must tell you, that probability is always between 0 and 1. It will be between 0 and 1. For example, 0.9, 0.3 and 0.4. So number of blue is 1, and so here number of blue, how many? They are 8. So 8 divided by total number. So it is 15. 8 divided by 15 will give you a value between 0 and 1. Might be it is 0.53, for example, whatever the computer is calculating. So I want to take it as an integer value. So first I will multiply it. So it will become 53 point something 123, and then I am rounding it to the whole number by this end, that is typecasting. And similarly, whatever the probability is calculated from this, multiplied by 100 and take an integer, so it will give you the whole number, not in decimal. Probability of yellow and probability of green is calculated in the same fashion. Okay, now let's move to the next slide and understand more about it. Student, in the previous slide we calculated the values of probabilities of different balls, and as a programmer my next job is to provide values of those calculated probabilities to the user. In this regard, through this first statement, I am printing probability of blue and whatever calculated in the previous slide by prob blue along with the percent will be given. For example, if it is 53 or 45 or 59, then it will be printed as a percent. And similarly, probability of red will be printed, probability of yellow will be printed, probability of green will be printed. Now we reach to the main part of this program, and that is the logical operator. Different conditions, I am testing more than one condition. The first condition is enclosed inside the parenthesis, and in this condition I am seeing the probability of blue is greater than probability of red, and probability of blue is greater than probability of yellow, and probability of blue is greater than probability of green. If this condition and this conditions are true, then it will print the highest probability is of blue, and this is the ANSI code for blue color. Blue will be printed in blue, and for that we imported sys module as you saw at the beginning of this program. Now, if these one of these condition is false, then it will directly go to LF and it will check the probability of red is greater than blue, is greater than yellow, and then greater than green. So this will be printed with red color. This is the ANSI code. If this is also false, so then we will consider the yellow is greater than blue, is greater than red, and then greater than green. If it is true, the highest probability is of yellow with the yellow color. This is the ANSI code. Finally, it will probability of green is greater than probability of blue, and probability of green is greater than red and yellow. This is the condition, then this will be printed the highest probability of green is of green with the green color. So now we are coming to the end of this program. Let us write this program on the IDE. Okay, dear student, I wrote this program as exactly I explained it in the slide with this command as well, so it will come to the normal white text with black background. Otherwise, whatever condition is true, if it is blue, then all the things right after this will be printed in blue, and if it is green, then it will be printed in green. If it is yellow, then all the things will be printed in yellow. So to bring it back to the normal environment, we use this command. Let's run this program without wasting our time, and I am running this program. Let us, to make it simple, first I am entering 1, and then they are giving me the probability of blue is 53, the probability of red is 26, the probability of yellow is 13, the probability of green is 6%, and the highest probability is as you can see it from here. And if you are giving it 1, if you are giving it 9, at the same ratio the other balls will also be increased, so there will be no impact on the result. So let us run it, and I will change the value. This time I am printing 6, for example, and pressing enter again the blue, because the ratio is the same if it is 1 or 2 or. This time the total number of balls are 90, and probability of blue is 53%, probability of red is 26%, and probability of yellow is this. You can see that the blue still has the highest probability, and blue is printed in blue color. If it was red, it would be printed in red color, and so on. So your job is to find the smallest probability of a ball. I found the highest probability. It is very easy to find the lowest probability, and that is 6 of green ball. So do practice on it. Now you are well on your way to learn the programming, because you learn how to take data from the user, store it in a variable, and then play with those variables. The first playing tool was the decision making. So take care of yourself.